I was convinced that Old English Bulldogs were the perfect family dogs, gentle, sweet, and way healthier than the traditional English Bulldog. That's what every breeder kept telling me. They called them the best of both worlds. Same bulldog look, fewer health issues, great with kids, and honestly, I believed it. But one day, I stumbled upon a Reddit thread that completely shattered that image. A story so raw and honest, it made me question whether this breed was really for everyone. If you're thinking about getting an Old English Bulldog, or if you already have one and you're struggling with sudden signs of aggression, you absolutely need to hear this story. Because what happened to one owner could easily happen to anyone, and the consequences were way more serious than just a few growls or snapped fingers. Stick around, because in this video, I'm sharing one Reddit story that completely changed how I look at aggression in Old English Bulldogs, and how you can avoid living the same nightmare. So let me take you inside this real Reddit post, from a user who I'll call Lisa, just to protect her privacy. Lisa had an Old English Bulldog named Tank, a gorgeous male, with a dark brindle coat, and those classic droopy jowls that make these dogs look like living teddy bears. She said, Tank was the sweetest puppy ever, snuggly, playful, great, with her 2 young kids. People would stop her on the street to say how handsome he was. The breeder promised a calm temperament, low aggression, and the typical goofy personality people love in bulldogs. For the first year, Tank was exactly that. Lisa posted photos on Reddit showing Tank lounging with the kids, licking their faces. Basically the perfect family dog. She felt proud, thinking she'd made the perfect choice for her family. But then, out of nowhere, things started changing. And Lisa's story is not unique. In fact, I found dozens of bulldog owners sharing eerily similar experiences across forums and social media. Tank's issues began with something small, guarding toys. Lisa noticed he'd freeze if anyone got near his favorite ball. At first, she thought it was cute, like Tank was just protecting his stuff. But soon, the freezing turned into low growls, then quick snaps, especially when the kids tried to pick up his toys. Lisa described one night when Tank lunged at her youngest child, just for reaching toward his bed. It didn't break skin, but it terrified the entire family. She wrote, I felt like I didn't even recognize my dog anymore. He'd always been so sweet, and suddenly he was snarling like a different animal. And here's the critical piece. From the Reddit discussion, many bulldog owners said they saw the exact same progression, resource guarding that slowly turned into sudden, explosive aggression. Some even reported their dogs biting family members, often out of nowhere. This wasn't a one-off fluke, it was a pattern. Multiple Reddit threads, like one titled, Old English Bulldog, Aggression Out of Nowhere, are filled with comments from owners who felt blindsided. One user wrote, I never thought my sweet OEB would snap, but he bit my husband on the arm during dinner. Another said, he went from cuddles to attacking my other dog in a week. A third owner shared that their bulldog suddenly lunged at a neighbor during a walk, even though he'd always been friendly before. Veterinarians chimed in, too, warning that Old English Bulldogs, despite being healthier in many ways than traditional English Bulldogs, can still develop dominance issues or territorial aggression, especially if not properly socialized from a young age. It's not about being a bad dog. Bulldogs are incredibly smart, but also stubborn, and without clear boundaries and training, they start testing limits, sometimes in dangerous ways. Reddit is littered with threads of people crying for help, realizing too late that cuteness doesn't always mean safety. Lisa's story ends with a hard decision. After several lunging incidents, she worked with a professional trainer who specialized in bulldogs. The trainer confirmed what other Reddit users were saying. Old English Bulldogs often require firm, consistent leadership, and early socialization is non-negotiable. Lisa started strict resource guarding training, feeding Tank by hand, teaching leave-it commands, and limiting his access to certain spaces in the house. Over months, Tank improved, but Lisa admits she never fully trusts him alone with her kids. That's the harsh reality. Many Reddit owners confessed. Aggression doesn't always disappear completely. For anyone considering this breed, The biggest lesson is this: Old English Bulldogs can be sweet and goofy, but they are powerful, stubborn dogs who need clear rules from day one. Don't assume they'll just grow out of it. As one Reddit user wrote, they're like tanks with a teddy bear face. You forget how strong they really are. Another thing I discovered while researching is that some people confuse aggression with stubbornness. Old English Bulldogs are known for a unique personality trait called selective listening. Basically, they hear you, but decide if it's worth obeying. Trainers say it's critical to stay calm but firm, using positive reinforcement rather than punishment. Screaming or scolding often makes things worse. Lisa shared that her trainer recommended practicing impulse control daily, even with simple exercises like making tank weight before eating or going through a door. These small routines build respect and reduce tension over time. And yet, even with all the right training, some bulldogs remain unpredictable under stress, especially if there's pain, illness, or a sudden scare. It's something every future bulldog owner needs to know before bringing one home. So here's my biggest takeaway from Lisa's story and from hours digging through Reddit threads. If you're thinking about getting an Old English Bulldog, go in with your eyes wide open. They're amazing dogs, but they're not automatically gentle giants. Without proper training, boundaries, and socialization, aggression can pop up seemingly out of nowhere. And it's not just about bruised feelings, it can become a safety issue for your family. Let me ask you this: have you ever seen signs of aggression in your Old English Bulldog? Or any weird resource guarding behaviors? Drop your story in the comments below. It might help another owner avoid heartbreak. And if you want more Bulldog truths nobody tells you, check out my next video right here on the screen. Trust me, some of these might shock you.